Welcome to a brand new year of STV. And to kick off our season, we've come here to Haydays, the official kickoff to the winter snowmobiling season, to kick off ours as well. STV is brought to you by Zox Helmets, a clear view for every adventure. Ultimax Belts, performance driven, performance proven. And by Best Western Hotels and Resorts. Haydays has become the biggest snowmobile event on the planet, and it happens every year the weekend after Labor Day in September. Over the years, it has become a mecca for not only snowmobile enthusiasts, but for everyone who's into power sports. If you've never been here, you need to change that, which is exactly what this episode is all about. Located in North Branch, Minnesota, not far from the Wisconsin side of the state, this event pulls in people from both sides of the continent, with vendors for both flatland and mountain riders all here together. Then there's the ultimate power sports swap meet with acre after acre of just about anything you can think of, power sports related or not. Haydays offers a little bit of racing action over the weekend to take in as well. There's mud racing with some wild creations battling out in the pit. There's also a central off-road track for both ATV and side-by-side racing, and it also hosts some high-flying stunt shows with some of the best in the business. And of course, the fastest grass drag track on the planet, which is the event that started it all here at Haydays and is still a main attraction. Keith is on the board of directors and has appeared previously on STV through a Zoom call, but we finally caught up to him in person and asked him to describe what is Haydays.
We could certainly try to describe it, but I like to always say, hey, trying to describe Haydays and all it entails is like trying to describe the color blue to someone that was born blind. I always tell people, you gotta be here to experience it, but until you're here, you don't really know what it is. And I'd like to think I can explain a lot of things, but I can't explain this. The vendor area is just amazing. Anyone who's anyone in this wonderful sport, actually it's a part of life for a lot of us, comes here and sets up and showcases their product. And we have a lot of new companies, a lot of startups that come as well because they want to kick it off on a big venue. We've got about 30 acres of swap and it's spread over 3 fields. When we mark it, it takes 2 crews almost a full day to mark swap. The Snow Barons being an all volunteer group, it's tough to put something like this on without passion fueling it. And like I've always said, it's only work if you'd rather be doing something else. So we've got a real hardcore group of us that are here almost every weekend, as soon as the snow melts, through the race, and now probably into October, cleaning everything up and putting it to bed for the year. So, and we're always planning. The planning really never stops. And to see everybody out here having fun, see the kids out here enjoying it, I think the people are my favorite. You know, at the end of the day, we're all in the people business. And that's probably my favorite part.
With all there is to see and do here on site at Heydays, there is no reason for you not to come. And don't use a long distance drive as an excuse either. Yeah, you can fly into Minneapolis, which is relatively close by, but then how would you bring all the swag you find home? For the OSM and STV crew, we had a 16-hour drive to get here, and walking around, I talked to plenty of folks who drove from even further away. And you know what? Nobody regrets making the trek here. You simply gotta do it.
Coming up after the break, we're starting a very special project here in the Hay.
This segment is brought to you by Yamaha.
With all of the aftermarket companies, and I mean all of the aftermarket companies here at Heydays, we thought it would be the perfect time to install some aftermarket parts on a sled owned by a good friend of ours, Dan Scallett, who's one of the riders in the OSM and STV family. I mean, there he is right there. Ready to work on this thing? Let's go. All right, what's first?
Dan is an absolute beast on a sled or anything else with handlebars or a steering wheel. Plus, he is one of those guys that can just fix anything, which every riding group needs at least one of. Every time I ride with Dan, I can't help but think, when I get older, I want to be just like Dan.
But sometimes, even the great Dan Scallett runs out of talent.
Every year I get to go out to snowshoots. Snowshoots where all the manufacturers get together in West Yellowstone or another location, but lately at West Yellowstone, and they bring all the latest and greatest equipment, sleds and everything, and we get to go take them out and ride them. We get to go out and put them through the paces, run them through the mountains, run them through the bumps, run through the trail, kind of compare them, jump back and forth. You get a real personal experience with the sleds when you switch back and forth, the riding style, what each sled does. And it gives you an idea of what sled you want to order for the next year. So one of my good things though is I got to ride this new Polaris 9R, and the minute I got on it, I was like, this is what I need to ride with the group that I ride with, that always takes me up in the trees and loves to get people stuck. This would improve my riding with them. Less ski tugs means less buying beers late at night. So this is what I needed. From the moment I got on it, the response of this sled with the 9R was completely different to my old RMK. So this is my pride and joy right now for this year.
To show our appreciation for all Dan does for us, we offer to install an SLP Outlaw Stage 1 twin pipe system on his sled along with a few other goodies. And because SLP is here at Heydays, we sauntered down to their booth to speak to Jerry to learn more about it.
So the kit for the 9R that we did, essentially it's our stage 1 twin pipe setup on a 9R. Gives you a 14 horsepower gain. I think there's like 7 pounds of weight savings there. The sound is just to die for. It's music to your ears. But ultimately, when you get out on the snow, you're gonna love the way that that thing accelerates, performs. It just, depending on the elevation you're at, and will depend on the horsepower that's actually realized in the snowmobile, right? Because we have lighter air when we go up in elevation, but you get at your lower elevations and that thing is hard to hold on to. Your higher elevations, you can kind of sort of do it, but you might need some Velcro gloves to help you out. So our kit for the 9R consists of the twin pipes, the clutching, a flash tuner, well thought out, well put together kit. You know, clutching will take you, I don't know, maybe half an hour to put on, 45 minutes, somewhere in there. The tuner, literally to tune that ECU, were 10 minutes. The twin pipes might take you, your first time doing it, might take you a couple hours to put the twins on. If you take your time, it might take you a day, right? But typically it's a couple hour process. Yeah, you can accomplish this in a home shop scenario if you'd like. But if you are more comfortable working with one of the local dealers, we have dealers all over the country that install these all the time too. So it's just, it depends on your comfort level, how much you want to do it. Some people just absolutely love getting their hands dirty and doing the work themselves. And for those guys, this is not that difficult of a process.
Yeah, doing the work here at Heydays is going to be a challenge with the people and the talking and the trying to keep track of parts and tools and having the right tools here, but well, we should get it done.
Coming up after the break, the work chaos continues on Dan's Chaos.
This segment is brought to you by Ultimax.
With the install well underway, we're actually making pretty good progress, and it's a relatively easy kit to install too, as long as you're reading the instructions. Oh, here it is. Wow, this place is busy. I'm on a mission. I need to find snap ring pliers, but I don't know where the tool guy is.
We are taking a little risk doing this type of install here at the booth at Heydays. Sure, we have access to the vendors who built the products, but like the snap ring pliers that we needed, that we found, simple problems that would easily be solved back at home in the shop can become huge issues. Thankfully, with a well thought out kit, this installation is coming along well without any problems. Now, that is until we drop something very small in the grass to be lost forever. Thankfully, that hasn't happened yet. With the install coming along, Jerry stopped by our booth to check on our progress.
So a couple other things to be aware of, and with the install of the pipe, you know, I get guys that don't read their instructions or don't comprehend what they've read.
We would never
in
do
their
something
instructions.
like that, not read the instructions.
So I can be guilty of that. I think all guys are, but
We got to like step 7 before we realized we should read the instructions.
been there, done that. So this bar, obviously we need to pull the bolt out, drop that bar down, that's so we can get the pipes in. We'll bolt it back in place once the pipes are in. The flanges.
Yeah.
You'll take and put the gasket, make sure and scrape your gasket surface, put the gasket against, take the PTO side flange and put it on first.
Okay.
Put the PTO pipe in, okay? And then put the mag flange on. Okay. If you put the mag flange on before you put the PTO pipe in, you can't get the PTO pipe in because it won't clear the flange.
We would have definitely done that.
So,
Yeah.
so anyway, other than that, it's really fairly straightforward. I'm excited to hear it run. These twin pipes are music to my ears. So.
Like to hear it, like the sound of that.
Up next is the best part of any snowmobile project, the startup.
Along with the performance improvement of the SLP kit, we felt Dan's sled needed a little extra something to make the 9R stand out a little bit more in the crowd. So during the installation of the pipes, we also installed a few products from B-Power, not only to improve the looks, but also performance.
At B-Power, we make backcountry accessories for snowmobiling. We're really building accessories like bumpers, A-arms, ski rubbers, and other protection reinforcement for sleds. Yes, fundamentally, the goal is to reinforce and protect the machine, but we're seeing more that people want to customize the machine. We're seeing that people want to be different, want to personalize, and don't want to just rely on what the OEM, even on the accessory side, has to offer. So obviously, in having different models, different colorations, we're really providing an option for riders to be able to customize their ride the way they want and to make it work with their wraps, with the other accessories. So there's really a great opportunity to customize.
We're going to put a little bling on it, some bumpers, skid plate, some maybe upgrade the A-arms on it, make it customized, more personal for that I don't have the exact sled in the pits I see somebody else ride by with. So when they see my sled, I know it's my sled, not somebody else. There's nothing like having your own customized little sled to ride.
This project went pretty smooth here at Heydays, and I want to thank Dan for bringing his sled out and his buddies that stopped by the tent to lend a hand to get this project done. Now, unfortunately, we can't fire this baby up to take it for a rip to really hear these pipes sing out there on the grass drag track. Pretty sure we get in trouble for that, but don't worry, we're planning something to get together this winter on the snow. Up next after the break, we're heading over to the manufacturer's lane to check out a very special 998 sled from Yamaha.
This segment is brought to you by Best Western.
Model year 2025 is Yamaha's last in the snowmobile industry. But for this last year, they wanted to do something special, so they're going to be auctioning off a very special sled to somebody who's willing to shell out the bucks.
To tell us more about it, we spoke with Delaney from Yamaha about what they're doing.
So the big blue box, we're actually auctioning off 998 of 998, that final SRX. From February 7th to 15th, it's going to be a week-long online auction that anybody in North America can bid on. So we're really excited about that because all the money from that auction is going to go right back into the snowmobile community, helping keep trails open, building the bridges, buying chainsaws and groomers and everything for the trails that everybody in this industry likes to enjoy. So trying to give back that little bit more just one final time. The winner of the auction does get the crate. They get the SRX in the crate and then also the crate, yes. So we're assuming whoever wins it probably won't take it out and ride it. They probably want to keep it as a toy on the shelf sort of deal.
Promotions like what Yamaha is doing with the SRX is just one example of the support you'll see from each one of the manufacturers here at Heydays. This event is a kickoff for them too, and it's here you'll see the latest releases from the factories like new race sleds or new models or packages that have been developed over the off-season, as well as the latest sales promotions and contests. Plus, it's a direct point of contact for you, the rider, to meet the people behind your favorite brand, to ask questions or to learn more about the new rides that are right in front of you. Now, even though you're in a t-shirt surrounded by grass, I can't think of a better way to get in the mood for snow.
Well, I was getting excited before spending the whole weekend here at Heydays surrounded by all these sled heads. I mean, the itch to ride right now is getting super itchy. I mean, but this dust, bring on the snow.
STV has been brought to you by Yamaha, revs your heart. The Toronto International Snowmobile, ATV, and Power Sports Show. And by OSMMag.com, your digital source for everything snowmobiles. Hey, thanks for watching. If you like what you've seen, please hit that like and subscribe button.